I have a link. I will post the link places. But yeah, it's recording now. Woo! Holla at your boy. Oh, that's wait. I gotta take you smoking off the camera. I can't have that on my YouTube channel. No, I'm kidding. So I would, before we get started, I'd like to say my channel is eligible for monetization, but I haven't activated it yet because I think I'd make like 3 cents per video. My highest viewed video right now is like 60. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I like how you said this is where it all begins, because I'm imagining this is going to be like, this footage is going to be look back like Cloverfield, and then you're going to be like, this is where humanity was doomed, right about right here. Let's do it. All right. I know, right? Anyways, anybody who's watching this probably has already seen it on my feed. I am Brandon Kennedy, Presby Kennedy. I am a fanatic about content creation, and I like dabbling in as many things as possible. Most of what comes out on my channel is stuff related to either storytelling or Dungeons and Dragons. I have a long-running D&D campaign with 4 different groups in an interwoven D&D world, telling a big, huge, massive story. A bigger, huger, massiver story. Called the Ilderon Tales. So a lot of my contributions to the group will be on the nerdy side of D&D stuff. Storytelling related, writing things. Hopefully in the future we can get a little short series going on where we tell some short form D&D stories and short form storytelling. And then the other thing I am also bringing to the table is I am self-employed, and I try and keep my head above water artistically. And for the past like half a year, I've been trying to see how long I can keep that going. So I do an unemployment vlog where I talk about just basically my life in general, the things I'm working on, the things I'm striving towards, just so other people, you know, in the same situation can kind of like see and just like, yes, both of our lives suck. Tracy is the biggest butt face. That's his claim. I'm kidding. Okay. Wait. There we go. Go ahead. Okay, so anybody who talks now, you're gonna pop up. There you go. I'll, woo, woo, woo. No, last episode was Gambino. kind of wish that I'd never stopped playing WoW just so I could have like a stockpile of a bajillion gold. Yeah. One crazy... Yeah, one crazy thing... Yeah, one crazy thing that I saw was, you know, the like people are turning to WoW to like feed their families in like Venezuela and these other countries. And so it's like when you kill a gold farmer, like the hours you put them behind is like food you're denying from like some third world country. And it's like it has changed how I look at gold farmers, because I've just been like, oh, you scumbag, that was my Goldshire boar. And I'm just like, you know what? You probably need that pig meat just a little bit more. It's just a tiny bit more than me. And I don't mean like pig meat as far as like food. I mean like the drops. Yeah. Hey, that's that's one of my favorite things about the unemployment vlog is that, like, if I just talk about what I want to do and what I want to achieve for that week, and then the next week comes by and I have to make the next vlog and just like and just honestly look at a web camera and say, you know, just talking into the void, I didn't do it. Like, it makes me, you know, it holds me so much more accountable, where I'm just like, all right, guys, I want that W. I want that win for next week. I want that emotional high, so I'm fudging doing it. No. Hey, my goals I set at the start of this week was make a logo for the D&D campaigns, which I have, mostly, yeah, I'm almost done with it. And then I said I was going to make some group-related content with you guys. This technically counts. And then I set a third goal that I forgot. So... Oh, hey, I did that. I added 3 things yesterday. Mm-hmm. Hey. Yeah. D stands for dependability. Wait, what do I have to do? Alright, next week our goal is to set goals that we can achieve. Yeah. So, like, Twitch actually has an IRL section? Yeah, you can watch people walk down the street. Wow. Well, you know, the IRL... Yeah. IRL, great graphics, awful storyline. Just horrible, just sometimes a lonely single-player experience. Wait, I thought it was me. I want to re-roll my stats. Yes. Okay. This is something I'm 100% capable of. Let's see. We'll go to our audio settings. We'll go to our volume mixer. We'll make sure that's coming through. Oh, wait. Okay. That's going through there. That's going to drastically change everything.
I just feel like he's going to start hitting the keyboard like crazy and just be like, I'm in!
And what is this? Real tech. High definition audio. Hey, you guys say something.
Hey.
Something.
Oh, that's a lot louder. I'm getting so many more volume levels. Should we redo all of that other stuff?
I have to catch up.
Hello and welcome to the Lost Dragon Podcast, your source of news and entertainment in the world of D&D, movies, games, comic books, fine art, and stand-up comedy. I'm not your host. I'm Nick Morganmore. With me today is my host, Brandon Kennedy. Say hello, Brandon.
Howdy.
Do you want
and some other beautiful people, Tracy Wickham, Bradley Clinton, and of course, last but not least in any way, shape, or form, George Collins. George, take it away.
Hi, I'm George Collins. One of my favorite things to do in life is beat my wife. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god, that got dark.
Yeah, replace wife with dog. And anyway, welcome to the LED Podcast. First episode. This might be where we're starting, but we talked for a good 15 minutes with the volume too low.
Yeah,
troubleshooting. How you doing? Anyway,
you guys can thank me for that. You're welcome.
I guess I'll just run through it real quick. Lost Dragon Entertainment is Jesus Christ, just forgot the whole thing.
Oh no.
We're a loose conglomeration of podcasters, vloggers, and gamers. What we're doing is producing content for your lovely listeners' ears.
There you go, bam. We got painting, we got vlogs, we got video games, we got news eventually. Then we got
we've got Dungeons and Dragons too.
Rambling.
We're gonna play World of Warcraft to talk about things that happen in the real world sometimes.
We're gonna set goals and not go to them. Yeah.
We're gonna set goals and we're not gonna cry at night.
All right.
Hey, you speak for yourself. I cry if I want to.
Oh god, it's so like you looked into your webcam at that and just where like you came up on my screen, you just perfectly looked into my eyes. I'm just like, you will not tell me when to cry.
But
it will be.
Well, I guess since we lost all the stuff I spilled out, well, we've already done the welcome to the Lost Dragon Podcast again. My name's Tracy. I'm just the guy who corralled everyone into this, and hopefully this works out, or they will probably kill me. So I'm gonna need you guys to tune in. But we're gonna be putting out a lot more content soon. Right now, we are focused into podcast art. We're gonna be putting out some comedy soon. We have Brandon's Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Oh my god, I'd love to do that as a podcast.
Comics as well as games. We have the group gaming, which is Brandon, Bradley, myself, and I do some solo content with interactive streams, as well as I will be putting out graphic design content on Twitch IRL soon. But we have a lot more planned. We're building a production room, putting together a production room at the moment, and that's going to be leading into some, we're going to be taking care of news, we're going to be taking care of gaming news, media news, just kind of really anything that you can think of to want news about, we'll figure it out, we'll put it together.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really much. Tune in, see what happens.
In 3 years, we'll have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Look like we're very rich, but we're still poor.
We'll still have the same quality too.
Yeah.
In 3 years, we'll start this podcast for like episode 150,
yeah.
And then we'll get 20 minutes in, and somebody will say, "Brandon, your sound settings aren't correct," and then we'll have to restart over again.
God damn it! This is 150 episodes.
Just like you're fired, Brandon.
Brandon, this is the 150th time this has happened.
And
what are you doing each time?
In all fairness, I've been like trying to like anybody who's watching this is going to see like every 30-40 seconds I try and sneak off camera to scarf down
shove tacos on your face.
Yeah. It's one of the.
What you eating? Tacos?
The Doritos Loco Taco, it is my cocaine.
Did you put spaghetti in it?
No. I did have spaghetti tacos, though, like, probably about a month and a half ago. Wait, did I give you that idea, or did you think of that idea?
You gave me that idea.
Okay, because I was about to say, I was pretty sure I started spaghetti tacos, and
I actually remember the night you did. I was we were playing something that I was depressingly eating the Doritos Locos Tacos after they were cold for probably around 5 hours, and I was just like, whatever, I'm hungry. I hate myself. Taco Bell works.
I mean, can we stop like this podcast or this company and just start a like spaghetti taco company? Because I'm telling you guys, it's like the wave of the future.
Welcome to our spaghetti taco franchise. Would you like anything? Oh, yeah. Not a spaghetti taco? Don't have it. Only spaghetti tacos.
Get out of here.
Don't have them.
I mean, I'd be okay with the macaroni taco, like macaroni and cheese taco.
Pasta tacos. There you go.
Yeah. It's just like branching out.
Then when we do sell fries, we name them something different. Like those are spaghetti singles. They're not fries.
Oh
God! Could you think of like a boiled
they'd be long
noodle
gnocchi.
That's
they'd be long. No, it'd be long gnocchi.
Yeah, it'd be potatoes with fucking sauce on them, like
long gnocchi, and you dip it in marinara.
Yeah.
All right, we're shutting it all down. I'm going to get the blown.
There we go. Episode 1. We can't do this.
All right. Yeah, it's like let's set our goals. Our goals are to quit and start a spaghetti taco.
We didn't meet it. Yeah.
That's a wonderful goal. I hold this.
When did you get all of that off?
But since I finally watched it, we can actually talk about it. Well, if y'all don't want to, Avengers.
Oh, Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I finally watched it, and people keep saying, "Oh, it's the greatest movie alive." Yeah. I wouldn't say that. It was a good movie, really good movie.
I feel like it had the hype of what was it, The Last Jedi, and while I liked that movie, I'm not gonna say I really liked it. I really liked the one fight scene in it because the choreography on that was insanely good.
Hey,
but the rest of the movie was, for me, like a build up to the fight scene, and then the rest of it was like a fall off from the fight scene. I'm gonna get a lot of flack on that, but I'm gonna say it has like kind of the same hype towards the Avengers, the Infinity War. A lot of people were hoping for a lot more. Where I felt like
BRB.
I watched it, but it was a good roller coaster. You know, the one-liners were good, the mix of jokes and the depression hits were good. But it fell off in a few areas where, like, you have a disconnect with all of it switching from camera or to group to group to group to group, back to here, back to there. We're going over here now. Like, some parts were like, oh, okay, I guess this guy's doing this now. That's cool. And then everything just conglomerated at the end, and it's like, oh, Thanos was right. Cool. All right.
So I would like to start off by saying I didn't know we were going to be talking about this tonight, and I just happened to be wearing one of my favorite.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah, and I'm just flexing it out. Miss Marvel, in the last week, got teased on whatchamajigger on Twitter that she might be coming to the MCU after the Captain Marvel film. And one of my favorite superheroes, you might be able to see Kamala Khan right there, just clinging on. So, I don't know. I am just all about, like, we've been, a couple of my friends, Bradley included, we've been watching through all of the Marvel movies in the order that they were released, like every one of them, building our way up to Infinity War. And I just felt like Infinity War came together so solid as far as its storytelling, everything it attempted to do. Like you say, there were moments that it dropped off, but I was in the opposite. Like, my friend bought me about $14 of like large stuff at the theater that, you can get free refills on. And I couldn't find a moment where I wasn't gripped to walk out and refill my popcorn and drink. Cause like everything just kept hitting and landing for me. I think, and just this like an overall summary of the movie, and I'll let somebody else talk, like my overall opinion to it. I think one of the greatest things they did was hiding Thanos as the protagonist. Like, Thanos was the protagonist the entire movie through Infinity Wars, but you didn't realize it until the movie ended and he gave his final line, and then, it flashes like Thanos will return, and it's like, this was a Thanos movie. Like, you know, it is an Avengers movie, but it was more so a Thanos. You got his origin story, you got his character development, you got to see him fight and work for the things he wanted to achieve. You got inside his head, and then you got to see, you know, like a climax of everything Thanos had been working towards, like, pull off. It was a Thanos protagonist movie, which was, and I think they did wonderful hiding that until the very end.
He's the hero we always needed.
He's not the hero. He's the protagonist.
Okay.
It's a different.
Hero.
Yeah, it's a different role. Protagonist is who the story is about. He still does awful, horrible things.
The hero is the one who took the hero's journey. So who do you guys think learned the most out of their journey through the movie? Who was the real hero?
Thanos and Thor are probably tied for that because
Spider-Man.
Thanos definitely goes through the entire hero's journey with the all is lost moment where he has to sacrifice the only thing he loves. And he ends up accomplishing everything he set out to accomplish. Now, Thor starts the movie at an incredibly low point. He realizes that he can be beaten in like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And then the entire movie is about him building himself up to what he knows he's capable of. And when Thor accomplishes that and still fails, it really cements what Brandon's talking about with Thanos being the protagonist of the movie.
Hey,
I disagree. I think it was Paul Rudd, because like, his whole the whole Paul Rudd's run on screen, you know, them walking up to him being like, nah, and then them walking away. I felt that had the most emotional impact out of the whole movie for me. Just like it had some arc to it because he was like, huh, what's going on? And then they're like, oh yeah, the world's ending. And then he's like, nah. You know, I related to that. Like, if the Avengers knocked on my door and they're like, "Hey Nick, you need to like save the Infinity Gauntlet with your like growing giant powers," I'd be all like, "Nah."
good.
Now, I think you're joking, but I will say one of the most fun D&D campaigns that I've ever been in was when the fate of the world came down to our characters, and our characters were just like, no, we're just gonna go someplace else. And that's like, it's a very fun type of story to have.
I did.
Oh, go ahead.
I did kind of appreciate Thanos though. Like I don't really follow comics too much. I'm more of a anime guy, so I'm like Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that.
My hero.
I look at Thanos kind of like the necessary evil, if I'm correct. It's like if anybody watched Dragon Ball Super, it's like Beerus and Zeno, which is like the god of everything and shit like that. So they destroy not because they're evil, but because they have to. Is that reading it right?
Or a closer like pop culture thing for people who like the comic book movies would be Watchmen, Ozymandias, his plan, bringing it to fruition and saving the human race through violence.
They changed Thanos' origin in the movie, but what you're referring to, George, like Galactus in the comic books, is like this primordial force of consumption.
He's also like a giant guy wearing a one-piece bathing suit in space.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
He has to.
He's got a really cool hat, though.
Yeah,
he does. Like, is that his towel? Did he just get out of a galactic pool and tie a towel around his head? Because that's what he looks like. He's got his legs completely uncovered with some sexy ass go-go boots. But like all the way up to his crotch is like bare leg, and it's like that can't be comfortable in space, man.
But one of the issues though, are problems like with Thanos in the movie, is he doesn't have to be doing what he's doing. Because like they explain in the comic books that if Galactus stops doing what he's doing, you know, like the universe starts unraveling. Like he has to eat star children for some reason. But Thanos is just doing this because like he had an awful and that's one of the things. It's he's kind of like a Batman-like superhero of just like, oh, he had an awful time. He's going to make sure nobody else has this awful time. And it's like, you're kind of psychotic, dude. Like,
I just say
you
that,
need
like,
to take a break.
I thought he was little bit for some Miss Death Pud.
Yeah. Yeah, like they should have spent an hour with like Thanos being like on Titan when it was still good, and him running for public office under the "let's kill half of the universe," and like we need to see that presidential campaign fail, and him be like, "Oh fucking, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway."
That would have been perfect. What we
I'm gonna do it anyway, guys.
I have one problem with it all. He has the reality stone. Just make everything infinite. Why did? I mean, for the whole thing, like. The whole reason he's supposed to be doing this, or like me and Bradley have talked a little bit about this, is he's trying to make Death, which we don't have her in the MCU, but he's trying to court Death by being like, I'm gonna erase half of the universe, so you'll be like, wow, you're a bad dude, and I want all of that. But she's like, no.
Whereas, in the movie, he's just like, oh yeah, I got to kill half. And here's the problem: like he kills half of everybody, and then the dickheads will still seize most of the shit, and then. We're still fucked anyway. Like the problem isn't the overpopulation. The problem is misallocation of resources.
The magic space rocks don't work like that, guys.
Yeah,
come on.
He could have snapped his fingers and then reallocated the resources instead of killing all of the consumers.
I read a post about that though.
Yeah, probably by a communist.
He could have like upped the resources and stuff, but he would have to keep doing it. So.
Wait, he'll have to keep wiping out half the universe. Like, that's literally a one-generation problem. That's literally like a 30 days problem for some races. Like, for us, it's a 9-month problem. 9 months and we're fucked again. With everywhere else in the universe with, like, the shorter gestation periods, fucking bang, in a day, like, half of those planets is wiped out. They're wiping themselves out again.
One thing, though, I just went to a writers group tonight, and one thing that one of the writers in our group brought up that I didn't even think about was just, like, Thanos could have did exactly what he did a lot more politer by, like, snap his fingers and then half of everybody's testicles doesn't work. And it's like, if you make half of the entire universe, like, not fertile, like, boom, you did the same thing and you just didn't kill anybody.
He just snaps and you get, like, the inside of their testicles just slowly, like, doing a little dust thing.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Everybody become a little bit more feminine.
One of the things that kind of upset me about Infinity War was they did the thing that's becoming way more popular nowadays, where they took a villain who, by all accounts before this moment, was just a terrible person. And that was their storyline. That was their motivation. So in the comics, Thanos is just straight up, he is mad because he's in love with the concept of death, and then he speaks to the actual embodiment of that concept, and she says, "No, you're kind of boring." And so
she likes Deadpool.
Right. That's absolutely right. And so Thanos decides, okay, well, I'm going to kill half of the universe for you, and then you're going to love me.
So question.
And even when he accomplishes it, she's just like, no, screw you, go away.
So does Thanos ever find out about Deadpool? Is there a comic about him?
In the comic books, there's one series called Thanos v Deadpool where they team up after Death disappears and no one can die. And that gets pretty interesting. That was a good story.
I gotta read that.
Yeah, that one's worth it. Like with Deadpool, you can pretty much grab any of like the storylines and start at the start of that storyline, and you're gonna get a good, decent story.
Except for
three different like short stories about Deadpool killing the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, there was a lot about that actually. That turned into a long series. It was Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool kills Deadpool, and yeah, that went down the rabbit hole. I really liked that one.
You can find a decent Deadpool story in any of the Deadpool things, except for the X-Men 50th anniversary and the Marvel Now Thunderbolts are the two worst written iterations of Deadpool I've ever seen, and I will curse them to my dying breath.
There's also, and this isn't a comic book, the movie of X-Men Origins Wolverine. That was probably the worst rendition of Deadpool. He talked about that. He talked about that in his movie.
The worst Deadpool.
Yeah. Ugh.
I remember seeing it. I think I was like 14 when that came out, somewhere around there. And I don't think I'd ever heard of Deadpool really before that. And when I saw him like that, I was like, wow, the edgy 14-year-old, like, wow, man, this guy's really cool. And then, like, I found out, what he's actually like. And I'm like, just fuck this shit.
Yep. I believe that was the exact same conversation that Ryan Reynolds had.
I believe you're right. But yeah, so something that I've been seeing more and more in like the film adaptations of stuff and just movies and books in general is we can't just have a bad guy who's bad for the sake of being bad. It has to be someone who's a good guy. And I miss dealing with just, that's a terrorist and he's a terrorist because he's bad.
No,
I have a comment on that, Bradley. I have a comment on that, so I'll hold mine.
Too.
Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I'm just thinking that might be a little bit of your Alabama upbringing right there. You know, in real life, the villain sees themselves as a good guy trying to achieve their good goal. You know, that's just part of psychology. There's not a bad guy who's like, I'm evil and I'm gonna do evil because I'm evil. You know, that's a thing that only happens in comic books, and comic books have been moving away from that.
I was going to say
for a while.
Jidan and the Burning Legion.
Hey, Legion. Legion, you kill Jaden on his ship in the Tomb of Sargeras, and when he dies, he has the best line explaining everything he's been through. He's talking to Valen, and he says, I'm so sorry, Valen. I only joined because I didn't see another way. And it's great. It's so good. It's so good. I cried.
So the reason why I kind of have a problem that everything in film and book is going that direction now is because films and books and all of these things, video games, they're about escapism. And I don't want to have to sympathize with the villain and be like, oh yeah, I really wanted the good guys to win, but Thanos was absolutely right.
Right. Yes, he was. but the thing about that, though, kind of going with that, that's why Justice League was born. Because wasn't it like Doomsday?
Steppenwolf.
That's why John McCain had a job.
Steppenwolf was the Justice League villain, and he needed the magic boxes to make a supervine thing to destroy the world.
So which one has Doomsday in it?
That's Batman versus Superman.
BVS.
Okay, see, that's why I don't really like him. 'Cause he's just an overpowered brute. That's all he is. I can't sympathize with him. Mostly, I want to sympathize with the villain because I'm kind of a bad person myself. So, like, yeah. So,
Well,
I mean, if you pay attention,
Nick.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like, if you pay attention, in a lot of these movies, the bad guy is actually the good guy. The best example of the recent ones is
X-Men Apocalypse.
the latest not the latest. Well, not just X-Men Apocalypse. Spider-Man. Not this last movie.
Oh,
the
the
two
Vulture?
before that, where
Tasm.
no,
Tasm.
before Vulture, when they did like Rise of Electro.
Yeah.
Electro is the good guy in that movie. Like, he's captured, he's tortured, he's turned into something against his will. What's his whole goal is to take back his intellectual property rights that have been stolen from him by the city. Like, the whole fight at the end is him reclaiming his property that was stolen from him. And even Green Goblin in that, when he comes to Spider-Man, he's like, hey, here's all my cards, they're on the table, I'm dying. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, nah, I know that you're my best friend, but you don't know that I'm secretly your best friend, so I'm gonna let you die horribly the way that your dad died for no reason. And then, you know, the story just goes downhill from there.
Yeah,
like, that was one where the bad guys were clearly the good guys all along.
TASM is a horrible movie, and Bradley and I had like an hour-long conversation about that yesterday, and I will gladly repeat it if anyone wants to hear it. But before we get,
what bothers me.
Yeah, before we get too far away from the Thanos thing, I will say the biggest criticism Marvel was having was like how bland their villains were, with how just most of them were just evil guys, like going through
Iron Man 1.
Yeah, Obadiah was just like, all right, we're just gonna sell weapons to terrorists. I'm just gonna kill my best friend's son. I'm gonna steal. It was just an evil dude. But that was like that's like the Marvel problem. Like writers all the time will, you know, like talk about the Marvel problem is your villain is bland. And I think this whole movie was Marvel putting a middle finger to like they have a entire section of writing devoted to them in like modern literature of the Marvel problem, and they just like middle finger to it and said, "Hey, we can make complex, interesting villains here."
But I think they did a bad job trying to do that, trying to make the villain a good guy with the Black Panther movie.
Oh, Killmonger.
Yeah, I thought he was terrible. Like I get he was supposed to be like the anti-villain. He was supposed to be like the actual good guy since his dad was killed and whatnot. But he was just done terribly in my eyes, man.
I'm with George. I'm with George.
Right now, I feel like Michael B. Jordan, like at the scene on the waterfall, and just like I want to point at George and be like, "Is this your opinion? Is this your opinion? Get out of here!" No, but let's hear what you got to say, Nick.
Oh, I just never believed him. Like every line delivered by Michael B. Jordan in that movie was misplaced.
He's so charming.
Yeah, when he's in the arts, at the very first time we see him as an adult, he's in this art museum and he's looking at these things and he's like dressed up like a hipster and he opens his mouth and I'm like, so are you pretending to be like an art student? No, obviously not. And then he's like, well, I'm gonna just steal all this stuff then because I'm a mercenary. I'm like, I don't believe that either. And then he turns up in Wakanda and he's like, hey, auntie, I'm gonna just be like king of this country now because I kill people on every continent. I'm like, I don't believe that you did that. I don't believe that you killed people on every continent, Michael B. Jordan. He didn't sell it for me. None of his on-screen time rang true for me that whole movie.
Y'all know Omar from The Wire, right? The black guy got the scar on his eye.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have been a better Killmonger.
Yeah, I think they just needed someone more sinister. Like
a little bit more evil looking. If the writing was good, then we would have still got the idea like, oh, he wasn't the villain actually.
I just thought of Lawrence.
But instead, he had these cheesy lines, and they picked like the prettiest person they could because they're like, yep, that'll wet some panties, that'll get us some, that'll be impressive. But it didn't sell for the movie. Like it made the movie less good. And it was great. It's a great movie. But it could have been the best Marvel movie, and it wasn't because the villain wasn't sinister in any way, shape, or form because they teased him up.
Just some R&B singer turned thug. Get out of here, man. Come on.
I am looking forward. I am looking forward to Fahrenheit 451. That's going to be good.
Yeah,
I feel like
for that.
Black Panther it wasn't a battle of villain versus hero, but it was kind of a battle of ideologies, and that. Killmonger wasn't supposed to represent some sinister evil villain because Killmonger had the right ideology, and realizing at the end of the movie that, the Wakanda way of isolation was wrong.
But Killmonger wasn't saying, like, let's open our doors to trade. He was like, let's launch war on everyone.
Yeah, and
let's make all the other countries kill each other.
One of the reasons why I think he works as a villain is because he represented young radicalized ideologies. And as, like, for me, as, like, a black man, when all of the St. Louis stuff was happening, like, I wanted to honestly get in my car, drive there, and start burning things and breaking stuff because the system doesn't work for me, and I was furious, and that's what I felt like that was the face of Killmonger, was just like a black youth in this country of like how they feel and what avenues are available for them to act on that. And it wasn't. Right. Oh, yeah?
My fault. I'm sorry. Before we go too far about that, I'm from St. Louis. Kind of go against you a little bit when I go into politics too much. That was my quick trips that they burnt down. What did that quick trip do to you? That was my quick trip. After school, give me a monster, and they burned it down because somebody else. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, and I felt like, Killmonger was the face of just the social issues that have been going on in in our current area, and the fact that they were able to tell that in like an Africanized Afro-punk setting with Marvel superheroes and stuff, I felt like it came together really, really well.
I think the message would have been seen a little bit more too if it wasn't so how do I say this without sounding off, wasn't so black dominate. You know how people just kind of took it as like, yes, black people finally wins finally. So everybody's like going there and like doing yeah. So they didn't really see the actual message. They were just seeing it because it was finally a black superhero movie.
I felt like both sides at the end of, Killmonger had the right ideology and, Black Panther had like the right execution of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I took away from it. And because Killmonger represented an ideology that I had inside my head as a person, the fact that he wasn't a vicious, like, ugly portrayal of it made it like jive more with me. Like, it was easier for me to see where he was coming from as a person rather than, as like a straight villain. And I think that, like, even seeing that story with anything else like white nationalism or something, if you're trying to change people's mind, and because all art's going to speak to a purpose, if you're trying to change people's mind on a subject and say, hey, do it a different way, you can't portray them as, like the nasty, vicious, like super bad villain.
You've given me some things to think about, Brandon, and I think you might be right. I think they put too much cheese on him. He was too cheesy.
Too pretty.
Yeah, I will admit, there were moments where Michael B. Jordan smiled in that movie where I was just like, can we just stay on this scene for like 40, 50 seconds?
But speaking of pretty, one thing kind of pissed me off about the whole Infinity War, I watched it with my wife, and when that scene where Captain America popped up out of the shadows, she was like, ooh, sexy, and that kind of pissed me off a little bit.
You got your Captain Alabama right here.
Like, how dare you?
Captain Alabama.
All right, I'm sorry, Captain Montgomery.
Oh man, I once I get my drawing tablet in, I'm definitely going to be making.
If there was a Captain Alabama, his uniform suit would definitely just be white robes and a hood.
Now, I want to say I've seen George punch people. Like, George could audition for Captain Alabama.
Hey.
We make there's some content. We'll rip off Marvel and just replace all the names.
Captain Alabama. Hey, did y'all realize
I've also heard George say really racist stuff too, so like I'm just saying.
Yep, that gives you points. That's points in the George column for sure.
Yes, I'm a little racist, but it comes with I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
The incredible sister cousin.
Tell me that's a sidekick.
Oh, that's beautiful.
No, he has to hit her, so that's actually the main villain.
Why are you fighting against us?
Come on, sister cousin. How will mother uncle feel about this?
Wait, mother uncle. That's a good swear right there. Like, you mother uncle.
you get
so I went and saw Infinity War with Tracy.
Yeah.
And I thought the movie was good, but I didn't think it was the best Marvel movie.
No.
And then where it immediately just dropped like 100 points on the scale for me is the after credits scene where they introduce Captain Marvel. Because she's the worst.
Leader of the Captain Marvel fan club. We already have art for it, and it will be posted to the Twitter.
Okay, hold on, wait. I can bring it up on screen right now. There we go.
That shameless plug.
There we go. Bradley Toaston's Captain Marvel #1 leather fan code.
That needs to be the
Yeah, we'll just make that. There we go. I'm kidding. Let's delete that.
That's just a mock-up we made. We made that one night. We're working on his panels, and we wanted to see his reaction to it because he hates Captain Marvel.
Now, I will say, for anybody who dislikes Captain Marvel, read Marvel Now, Captain Marvel 2 Battle World. Then after the Battle World reboot, read her into Civil War. Like, it
just
is
don't finish it.
Yeah, Alpha Flight Captain Marvel is good.
No.
Where it starts and then stop, and
Yeah,
she stays a very
you don't
good
have
person.
to read Civil War. You don't have to read Civil War. You stop right there.
It's not even needed, really.
I mean, every appearance she makes in Miss
No.
Marvel comic
So-
book is great.
So I've got anything for anyone who likes Captain Marvel, and that's all you have to do
Hold on, wait.
is
Let me
read.
mute Bradley real quick. Just all right, he's muted. Go ahead. No kidding.
All you have to do is read through the second to last issue of Civil War 2, and you find out that she kills Rhodey, that she's basically like, yeah, let's profile everyone because historically that works.
Yeah.
And she's just the worst.
I think everybody disagrees.
Hey, I mean, you guys see what I'm wearing tonight. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just repping
I'm
Darth V.
I'm all about me some Miss Marvel. I used to collect Captain Marvel. I haven't caught up with her just because poorness. When the unemployment vlogs officially stop is when I'll be buying comic books again.
So, just a quick note. Y'all realize this basically just became our idea of the movie podcast?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't know. We should probably put a time limit on like how long we're gonna spend on topics.
mean,
But Infinity Wars was huge. It was a huge movie, so it's hard to cover it in like 20 minutes.
And now we can tag it. Yeah.
yeah, now it's the movie podcast.
I do actually want to get together with everyone at some point and schedule out when we're going to be doing specific podcasts. We all like games. We all like media. We'll throw in on some podcasts. Don't know for how well we could do a music one, but I'm right now trying to figure out how I can go see my favorite band with VIP tickets.
Oh,
I mean, I listened to like the same 400 songs on repeat from
Yeah.
2000 to like 2016.
I just go on Spotify and do the Discover playlist. If you don't have Spotify, definitely get it. The Discover playlist.
Hey, stop plugging them. They're not sponsoring us.
hit that like button. Smash that mother effing like button, and you get a free Spotify. No,
No, you can't shell that out.
Yeah, go on
But,
audible.com/Lost Dragon Entertainment and just jerk off.
yeah. And
No,
jerk off to the arrows.
Pornhub.com/Lost Dragon Entertainment. But,
That's how you know, as an entertainer, you've gotten to the point where you can sell out when Audible contacts you and asks for a sponsorship.
I mean, I think
well, there's our chance ever.
I
It's gone
think
now.
we should honestly start like a Pornhub channel and just upload all our podcasts there. Like, you don't have to do any porn. Or you just put it on there and just have ourselves a good
Just
old
occasionally show a nipple every now and then. Just like show one of our nipples. That's it.
I volunteer my nipples.
channel.
There we go.
All
First
right,
thing-
yeah, we're set.
Nick Morganmore's nipple. You just got to watch.
YouTube's dying. Pornhub's where it's at.
Hey, they get paid though.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we've
That
officially
crosses my mind.
quit being Lost Dragon Entertainment. We're starting a spaghetti taco business.
No, it's
And-
spaghetto.
Yeah.
Spaghetti tacos brought to you by Pubundies, the only underwear made entirely out of pubic hair.
And then as we are like talking about our ideas for new spaghetti tacos, we're gonna upload all those videos to Pornhub.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get
Maybe
like,
we can be their next April Fool's joke.
Yeah,
hopefully
well, we could totally do this. Like, upload the first episode on Pornhub and like somebody jerking off, agreeing to our Affinity War.
They just see the tag spaghetti tacos and they're like, oh, what is that? That sounds hot.
Oh man, can I put my penis in it? Fuck it, dude.
I
And
wish
I've looked at a lot of pink tacos, but I've never seen a spaghetti taco.
Oh no.
Oh wait, is that an Italian woman's vagina? Is that really racist?
Oh
Ooh, spaghetti taco.
no. All I could think of is just
It is now.
it's just a vagina with way too much pubic hair.
all right.
That-
I'm gonna call
ruining a
that
family
conversation right there. I go back and watch my YouTube videos occasionally.
It goes great with the pube on.
Yeah.
So, transitioning, what I hope comes out of Infinity Wars, we got this little old baby. Bradley reminded me it was a thing last night. I think the Tesseract becomes sentient in there and starts doing things.
Yep.
And Avengers Standoff, all about, the aftermath of, like, how do you contain villains and all of those shenanigans. Be a real fun storyline. You got Captain America giving away his title to, a new Captain America. Every villain coming back and having a great fight moment and send off. X-Men teams teaming up.
I'm just gonna say real quick, I've never read a comic outside of the Watchmen.
Yeah, I'm about the same, but not Watchmen.
I read the mangas in my teen years.
I sometimes watch like YouTube series of, this person has never experienced this, so we're going to introduce them to this and see how they react. I'd wonder how that would do with comics. Like, it'd be really hard to do, but just like, here's 2 really screwed up comics, tell me what you think. It's like, that was really effed up. Yeah.
We need to get like the general soccer mom, and that would be a great series. Just subject her to like really messed up media.
No, for real. We joking, but like with the green screen and stuff like that, we can like I don't know if this idea we should say on here or not, but you can cut it out.
We'll hold it.
Get the green screen.
I don't edit my YouTube content, BT Dub.
Yeah,
I'm so
Brandon.
lazy.
Come on, Brandon. Jesus.
Oh, this is live streaming, by the way.
Yeah, we'll hold it. We'll hold it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll hold it. It's good though.
Well, yeah, I kind of wish I would have bought the first issue of the Marvel Now Thunderbolts, because it was legitimately the worst comic I had ever read. And I read it standing in line at the store, and I was like, no, I'm not buying this. But I would love to have bought that so I could give it to somebody and just be like just put it side by side with like a great comic, like Miss Marvel #1 and then Thunderbolts #1. And it's just like, here you go. This is the best comics have to offer, and here's the worst. How do you feel? Awful. It's good.
Well, that's like what I was telling you yesterday about. Does anybody know what the 3 worst Batman comics are?
I don't know Batman for real, but I remember the other one you told me.
So it's Son of the Demon. It's Back in Black. And here's the big one. Spider-Man The Clone Saga, because the Clone Saga gave all comics everywhere a bad name.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put it in a Discord.
Yeah.
Has anybody here read The Crossed by Garth Ennis?
I haven't. My comic book selection is like very, or rather what I've read is very thin, because I just read what I could afford, and you can kind of see it on my shelf back there.
Yeah, I had a big collection back in Australia. I had The Crossed. I like Garth Ennis because I read all of Preacher, and I was like, that's pretty messed up. Let's see where he goes from here. So he, at the same time, he started a comic zombie series, and Warren Ellis started a zombie series to just sort of see how those 2 guys would go doing, different stories, but like their takes on it. So Warren Ellis does this one called Black Gas, which is really good. People inhale this black gas and go all crazy and start eating and mutilating each other. And Garth Ennis did The Crossed.
I'm into that.
And The Crossed is seriously next level fucked up.
Oh my god!
A scene where somebody has their nose bitten off and their face raped. So you know, like it's dark.
And they get those crosses across their face.
Yeah, they get this cross on their face. Yeah.
I can't remember what the infection was, but it's like some kind of virus that was used as an attack on an area, and then it just everywhere.
Yep. And it turns people into like the absolute worst version of themselves. So,
yeah,
like, people know what they're doing. They're just choosing to do the most fucked up shit possible, which gets really dark really quickly.
If you are not 18 plus, and if you are very very squeamish, do not read The Cross. If you are though,
I want to read The Cross.
It is one of the best comic series I ever binged. I will say That's the only other one that I've actually. I don't think I fully read through. I think I got to a part where it hadn't finished yet when I started reading it.
I read all that Warren Ellis wrote, and then he handed it over to another writer, and I was like, no, I'm done. Like, well, I was here for Garth Ennis. Sorry, I was here for Garth Ennis.
Yeah, I think I got through all of Garth's stuff, and it like cut off, and it was like, oh, we'll be back or something. I forgot about it. Like didn't even remember it was a thing until you said something about it. I actually want to go and reread all of that.
But I was a big fan of like all those. I read a lot of this subversive sci-fi comic books. So like Transmetropolitan by Warren Ellis, Preacher by Garth Ennis, like anything that fits into those sorts of genres. And my favorite, my all-time favorite is Ben Templesmith, the story that he wrote, Chronicles of Wormwood. That one is fucking amazing.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, that one is real. It's his, the artist who did 30 Days of Night. He's pretty insane, and so like the stories that he writes get real twisted. So his one, there was 2 Wormwoods came out at the same time. Funnily enough, one of them by Garth Ennis, which is about the Antichrist just doing his own thing, and that's the Chronicles of Wormwood. And then there's Ben Templesmith's Chronicles of Wormwood, Gentleman Corpse, and Gentleman Corpse is his main character. This guy who he's actually a worm from a hell dimension that was feeding on the bodies of dead gods, and then he like wound up on Earth, and he can if he crawls inside of a corpse, he can control it, and so he's just running around in these dead bodies, just doing shit. And it's really
kind of reminds me of like season 3 of Agents of Shield.
Yeah, kind of.
I will say real quick, we just finished our first hour, and we're touching on our second hour. So if there are any topics we wanted to discuss, make sure we hit. Just letting you guys know where we're at via time.
Okay, cool. I think we good. We handled a lot. I think the first episode did its job of us introducing ourselves and kind of just understanding who we are as like regular people. We had a normal conversation, and we kind of did a movie podcast at the same time. So so if anyone has anything, we can do
I definitely want to say, if anybody has topics that you want talked about during these podcasts, definitely just leave them in the comments. We will be reading, and it'll help us not go off the track so much, because without any topics really to talk about, we're just going to sit here and go back and forth to whatever hits our brains. But yeah, definitely leave stuff in the comments. We'll read through them, and we'll talk about your topics.
Yeah, this one was kind of rambly, just so we can make this a reality. So it's here.
Yeah.
So that was it. That's cool. We gone?
Alrighty. I'm gonna sign off with the end card or something right here. There we go.
Everyone say bye.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wait. Okay, yeah, you guys can say bye. I was gonna switch
put on the end thing.
Okay. So, one thing I like to do when I'm ending this stuff is, and I don't have the Discord up right now. I need to get that link. But yeah, I like having the live comments up so everybody can see them. Like, subscribe, follow, do all those things, and the linky stuff is in the descriptions eventually. Thank you for watching. Bye.
This episode brought to you by Garbage Box. Are you sick of your friends talking to you about their natural, organic food box delivery services to their house, telling you how amazing it is, and all you want to do is stuff a Big Mac in their mouth? Well, order from Garbage Box, where you will get every main menu from every local fast food restaurant delivered to your house at one go. Do you want a double cheesy gordita? Yes, you can have one. Do you want one of our brand new, freshly cooked quarter pounders from McDonald's? Well, there's 5 of them in there as well.
Wait, are they actually going to sponsor us though?
I hope so. I'm trying. Do you want 8 pieces of chicken from KFC and Popeyes so that you can directly compare to know for sure who's better? Order Garbage Box. Get one of everything from Garbage Box.
Garbagebox.com/LED.
Oh my God.